There are two key spending claims in Boris Johnson's Daily Telegraph article this morning, and we've heard them before. £34 billion now for the NHS and £14 billion now for schools. I've been talking to the Institute for Fiscal Studies, the IFS, about both of these claims. On the NHS, you'll remember that big announcement from Theresa May last year to give NHS England an extra £20.5 billion a year over 5 years. Now, the IFS think that when Boris Johnson talks about £34 billion, he's actually referring to Theresa May's £20.5 billion. It's just that he's giving the figure in cash terms, so ignoring inflation, whereas Theresa May was giving the figure in real terms, taking account of inflation. On the extra £14 billion for schools, there are two things going on here. First, again, it's a cash figure, not a real terms figure. Secondly, they've done what the IFS have called double counting each year. Now, this is a bit complicated, but imagine if your employer says they'll raise your salary by £500 for each of the next 3 years. You'd probably say your salary is going up by £1,500 in total, but more unusually, you could count it by going back to the original baseline at the start of each year. So you could say it's going up by £500 in year 1, plus £1,000 in year 2, plus £1,500 in year 3, totaling £3,000. But that's an odd way to do it. Now, in the IFS's view, they think that's how Boris Johnson has got to the £14 billion figure, by ignoring inflation and by double counting. And they say if you don't do those things, then the actual figure is £4.3 billion a year extra for schools in England over 3 years. So in real terms, and counting the different years in the conventional way, the planned money for NHS England over 5 years is £20.5 billion, not £34 billion, and the money for schools in England over 3 years is £4.3 billion, not £14 billion.